A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance has ignited a firestorm of controversy with his remarks on abortion and gender identity. The 3-hour podcast, released on Thursday, featured Vance making sweeping generalizations about liberal women, claiming they celebrate their abortions, and asserting that transgender identities are being adopted by upper-middle-class white youth as a strategy to gain admission into elite colleges like Harvard and Yale. Vance's comments have been met with backlash from various groups, who argue that his statements are not only misleading but also harmful to the ongoing discourse surrounding reproductive rights and transgender issues. During the podcast, Vance suggested that liberal women were publicly celebrating their abortions, even going so far as to say they bake birthday cakes and post about it on social media. This assertion was met with skepticism from Rogan, who countered that there are very few individuals who genuinely celebrate such a personal and often painful experience. Vance continued to push his narrative, criticizing what he termed gender transition craziness and expressing his belief that he and former President Donald Trump could capture what he called the normal gay guy vote. His remarks about transgender individuals were particularly pointed, as he claimed that young people from affluent backgrounds might see transitioning as a shortcut to enhancing their college applications. If you are a middle-class or upper-middle-class white parent, and the only thing that you care about is whether your child goes into Harvard or Yale, that pathway has become a lot harder, Vance argued. He went on to suggest that being transgender could be a way for these families to engage in the DEI bureaucracy, a reference to diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Critics have pointed out that Vance's claims lack any substantial evidence and are rooted in a misunderstanding of both the college admissions process and the experiences of transgender individuals. Studies have shown that transgender students face significant barriers in education, including discrimination and harassment, which can hinder their ability to succeed academically. Vance's comments reflect a broader trend among some Republican candidates who have made anti-trans rhetoric a focal point of their campaigns. The Trump-Vance ticket appears to be courting young male voters through these provocative statements, leveraging cultural grievances to galvanize support. In a particularly contentious moment, Vance posited that there is a connection between testosterone levels in young men and conservative political beliefs, implying that health and weight issues could lead to more liberal ideologies. Rogan challenged this notion, highlighting the complexities of political beliefs and health. The senator's remarks have drawn sharp criticism from various advocacy groups, including GLAAD, whose president condemned the use of transgender issues as a political weapon. Sarah Kate Ellis stated, "After the election, trans Americans will have to deal with the dangerous fallout from the shameful lies and misinformation that far too many political candidates are intentionally spreading." As the 2024 presidential election approaches, the rhetoric surrounding transgender rights and reproductive health continues to escalate, with candidates on both sides of the aisle taking firm stances. The implications of Vance's comments extend beyond mere political discourse. They contribute to a climate of fear and misinformation that can have real-world consequences for marginalized communities. With the election just days away, the stakes are high, and the conversations around these critical issues are more important than ever. As voters prepare to head to the polls, it remains to be seen how these controversial statements will impact public opinion and voter turnout. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.